Reduce anxiety. Self-help for anxiety. Do you find that you spend large periods of the day worrying? Do you often feel nervous, apprehensive, or on edge? Do you feel that things are getting on top of you? Do you find it hard to relax and switch off? Do you often experience unpleasant physical sensations such as butterflies in your stomach, muscular tension, dizziness, or breathlessness? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, you may be experiencing symptoms of anxiety, and you may find this video helpful. What is anxiety? Anxiety is an unpleasant feeling that we all experience at times. It is a word often used to describe when we feel uptight, irritable, nervous, tense, or wound up. When we are anxious, we normally experience a variety of uncomfortable physical sensations. These include increased heart rate, muscular tension, sweating, trembling, feelings of breathlessness. What causes anxiety? Life events. Often we develop anxiety following a series of stressful life events. This is especially true if we experience many different pressures all at once. For example, if someone has work pressures, financial difficulties, and relationship problems all at the same time, it is perhaps unsurprising that they become anxious. When thinking about it in this way, anxiety is often the result of feeling as though we cannot cope with the demands placed upon us. In addition, people can learn to be anxious based on their life experiences. For example, if someone has faced workplace bullying in the past, they may be more likely to suffer anxiety when beginning a new job. Thinking styles. Some people may have a thinking style that lends itself to experiencing anxiety. For example, anxious people have a tendency to expect that the worst possible scenario will always occur. They also feel like they must constantly be on guard in case something bad happens. They believe that by thinking about all the things that could go wrong, they will be better prepared to cope if it happens. However, thinking in these ways mean they are on regular alert and find it difficult to relax and switch off. Evolutionary reasons. We also experience anxiety because of its evolutionary benefits. Put another way, although anxiety is largely an unpleasant experience, it also has positive benefits that have been useful to humans over the centuries. For example, when we are under threat or feel in danger, e.g. hear a burglar, we automatically become anxious. As a result, our heart beats more quickly, which supplies blood to our muscles, which helps us run away from or fight the burglar. We sweat, which cools us down during this process, and our breathing changes, which ensures oxygen is delivered to our muscles quickly, again preparing us for a quick response. When looking at anxiety in this way, you can quickly see how it can be very useful in certain situations. Biological reasons. It has also been suggested that anxiety has familial ties. In other words, if someone in your immediate family is an anxious person, there is an increased chance that you will have similar personality traits. How can I reduce my anxiety? Understanding more about anxiety. Learning how to challenge your unhelpful thoughts and see things in a more realistic light. Improving your problem-solving skills. Learning how to reduce the amount of time you spend worrying. Learning how you can feel more relaxed, physically and mentally. Learning how to stop avoiding the things that make you anxious. When going through this booklet, it can sometimes be more helpful to try out the ideas above one at a time, rather than trying to learn them all at once. However, simply take things at your own pace. Challenging unhelpful thoughts. The way that we think about things has an impact on our anxiety levels. Many of these thoughts occur outside of our control, and can be negative or unhelpful. It is therefore important to remember that they are just thoughts, without any real basis, and are not necessarily facts. Even though we may believe a lot of our unhelpful thoughts when we are anxious, it is good to remember that they should be questioned, as they are often based on wrong assumptions. Patterns of unhelpful thinking. Predicting the future. When we are feeling anxious, it is common for us to spend a lot of time thinking about the future and predicting what could go wrong, rather than just letting things be. In the And most of our predictions don't happen, and we have wasted time and energy being worried and upset about them. For example, assuming you will perform poorly at your job interview. Spending the week before an exam predicting you will fail, despite all your hard work studying and your previous good grades. Mind reading. This means that you make assumptions about others' beliefs without having any real evidence to support them. For example, my boss thinks I'm stupid. People think I'm weird. Such ways of thinking naturally make us apprehensive. Catastrophizing. People commonly catastrophize when they are anxious, which basically means that they often blow things out of proportion. For example, they assume that something that has happened is far worse than it really is, e.g. that their friend is going to dislike them because they cancelled a night out. They may think that something terrible is going to happen in the future, when, in reality, there is very little evidence to support it, e.g. I'm going to get into serious trouble for calling in sick. Focusing on the negatives. Anxious people often have a tendency to focus on the negatives, which keeps their anxiety going. For example, they focus on the one person at work who doesn't like them, ignoring that they are very popular with the rest of their colleagues. Should statements. People often imagine how they would like things to be, or how they should be, rather than accepting how things really are. For example, I should have got an A in history. I should never be anxious. Unfortunately, when we do this, we are simply applying extra pressure to ourselves that can result in anxiety. Instead, it can sometimes help to accept that things can't always be perfect. Overgeneralizing. Based on one isolated incident, you assume that all others will follow a similar pattern in the future. For example, when enrolling on a college course, you meet a future classmate who you find irritating. As a result, you worry that everyone in the class will be the same and you won't make any friends. What if statements. Have you ever wondered, what if something bad happens? For example, what if I have a panic attack at the party? What if I don't make friends when I start my new job? This type of thought can often make us avoid going places or doing the things that we would like. Labeling. Do you find that you attach negative labels to yourself? For example, I'm weak. I'm a waste of space. I'm always anxious. Problem solving. Identify your problem. Come up with possible solutions. Choose a solution. Break down your solution. Try out your solution and review the outcome. Limiting the time you spend worrying. Decide a time in the day that you will have your worry time. At other times, simply note down any worries that pop into your head and try to forget about them. Once your worry time arrives, choose how long you will allow yourself to worry. Try to keep it no longer than 15 to 20 minutes. Begin timing yourself so your worry time doesn't overrun. During worry time, try to resolve your worries proactively. Simply try to come up with solutions to your worries if possible. Using a pen and pad to jot down solutions can be helpful. Stop as soon as your worry time is finished. If any worries still feel unresolved, simply carry them over to tomorrow's worry time. Relaxation. Do some exercise, e.g. swim, cycle. Read a book. Watch your favorite TV show. Go to the cinema. Do something creative, e.g. draw, paint. Visit a friend or family member. Have a bath. Controlled breathing. Beginning. Get into a comfortable position. Middle. Work out a stable breathing rhythm. Perhaps try to breathe in for 3 seconds, hold. This, breathe for 2 seconds, and then breathe out for 3 seconds. It can be helpful to count as you do this. E.g. in 1 to 2, 3, hold, 1 to 2, out, 1 to 2, 3, hold, 1 to 2. Ending. Repeat this action for a few minutes. You should soon begin to feel more relaxed. If you were feeling dizzy, then this should also get better after a few minutes. Muscular relaxation. Beginning. Find somewhere comfortable and quiet where you won't be interrupted. You can either sit or lie down to practice this exercise. Begin by focusing on your breathing. Try to have a slow and comfortable pace. Do this for a few minutes to prepare for the muscular relaxation exercise. Middle. Try to tense each muscle group for around 5 seconds. Don't tense the muscle too tight. Focus on the sensations that this brings. Then relax your muscles for a similar length of time and again, focus on how this feels. Then move on to the next muscle group. Try to remember to keep your breathing at a comfortable pace throughout. Ending. It can be helpful to spend a few minutes just lying quietly in a relaxed state. See if you can notice any tension in your body and try to relax it. Otherwise, just let the tension be. If your mind wanders, try to bring your concentration back to your breathing. Finally, count down silently and slowly, 5 to 4, 3 to 2, 1 to 0, and come out of the relaxation in your own time. See if it's possible to carry that relaxed feeling into whatever you do next. Distraction is a good technique to fend off symptoms of anxiety and stress when they feel overwhelming. This can also give you space to deal with a situation in a more considered and positive manner. It is also helpful when you don't have the space or time to use a more proactive approach, such as a relaxation exercise.